go. Okay, so that's perfect. That's perfect. That's perfect. So let's see if we can start the live. Okay, so we're live here, we're live there. We're gonna just share the link with everyone on the Discord. So let's just share the link with everyone in the Discord channels. So that way we're gonna be able to just notify everyone that we're live. So everyone, we're now, ooh la 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 la, that's not good writing. We're now low. No, we're not low. We're now live for the free weekly outlook. Okay, perfect. And then just the next thing, we're just gonna go on Instagram and do a little announcement on Instagram as well. By the way, guys, if you're not following me on Instagram, don't hesitate to do so, because I post a lot of interesting content, some like extra content on the stories and stuff like that. So yeah, don't hesitate to follow me on Instagram. That's my Instagram account. So yeah, same thing as my username. Okay, so let's do it. Let's do it right now. So that's perfect. That's perfect. Nice, 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 nice. So join. Oh la 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 la. Join. Okay. Join us for the free weekly outlook on For Traders YouTube channel. Okay, bam, bam, and then we're just gonna copy and paste the link. Okay, perfect. Bam, 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 bam. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. So now every announcement has been made. So that means it's good. Okay, perfect, guys. So I hope everyone is doing well. Like usually, we're gonna be streaming for the free weekly outlook. Again, guys, really important today. It started a little bit earlier. I did my announcement on the Discord again. Right here in the announcement section, I did the announcement yesterday that we're gonna be streaming a little bit earlier today. So yeah, that's just the thing. And yeah, we're gonna start right now with the free weekly outlook. It's exactly the same thing as usually. If you have anything that you want to ask, any questions, some things that you don't understand what I'm talking about, or you just want some more information, don't hesitate to just tell it, just ask it in the chat. And yeah, then we're gonna start right now. So for everyone that is on TikTok, right here you have the chart, right here you have the the price, and right here you have the pair with the time frame. So like that you'll be able to follow what I'm doing. Nice. Okay, so guys, first things first, on the previous week it was a crazy week according to the strategy. Like if you go in the wins and losses right here, that's all the trades. Oh my god, you don't even see it. That's all the trades we had right here. All the trades we had, a lot of positions. Of course, not all of them were full risk. If not, I would have been overexposing ourselves in the market. Some trades were split risk, so we can lower the exposition. But anyway, like every single day, there was an amazing trade because a lot of POIs in the previous week got mitigated. this breakdown of everything that will happen right here, I mean, that happened right here on the previous week, we had a lot of POIs and mitigation actually of trades that actually respected really well our areas and our zones. You know, the market lately has been pretty crazy. It was not really respecting anything more lately. For the past 2 months, it's been really hard, especially, I mean, since the shutdown, that was even worse. But yeah, right now, like, this week was really good. Even on my other trader friends told me that this week price was respecting everything, so it was crazy. So I really hope that you traded this week, because again, it was really nice. And I'm gonna do this breakdown of all the trades that happened. It's gonna be a really long breakdown, okay, of all trades, and I'm gonna post it for free in the Discord, okay? I'm gonna post it for free on my Discord, so that way you can have the breakdown of all the trades that happen, and that way you can actually as well learn with the breakdowns. Because most of the case, when I personally started trading, what helped me the most was the breakdowns, right? Because you can actually see how the strategy is working. You know, you can actually like put all the pieces together, and it's not like just individual concepts when you're not really understanding fully what's going on, right? So yeah, that's why I'm gonna do the breakdown. I'm gonna post it for free so everyone can see it, because I hope it's gonna help you like it helped me when I personally started trading. But not talking about the breakdown, let's just go back on doing the analysis of the trades that happen and that will happen during the next week, and hopefully it will be as good as this one. So yeah, so first of all, we still have the exact same thing on Euro USD. So Euro USD, guys, if you remember, now there's no more markups because I was doing a video yesterday, but basically we broke structure to the downside exactly right here, as you can see, and this created a range from this high right here to the low. Again, I just posted a video about a really common mistake that a lot of people are doing, and the really common mistake that a lot of people are doing is that they consider this is the high of the range when it's wrong. That's not the high of the range, and it's really simple to understand why. It's just because you need to see where your last break of structure was, right? So if your last break of structure was right here, that means that this is not the high connected to the low that actually broke the structure. So if you can see right here, this is the low, you see, that actually broke structure right here. So what does that mean? It means that if you go back to the highest point, it's actually here and not there. Okay, really important, because if you take this is as the high of the range, this is just actually some liquidity that is sitting there. So this is just some inducement / rest and liquidity that can be sitting up there. And if, for example, above, if you can see right here, if for example above right here there is a point of interest, an order block, or whatever you want to call it, so again based on SMC concepts, right here we have a 4-hour points of interest. As you can see, this you will get swept if you, for example, consider this is the high. If you enter a trade in this area, putting your stop loss above the high, something like that, I don't know, there's a lot of chances that if price pushes up, it will actually mitigate this POI, sweep this liquidity right here, and then push down. In this case, price didn't sweep the liquidity yet. We just reacted from this area. We as well cut a trade from this area, but really be careful, because if, for example, price pushes up and here breaks structure, it doesn't necessarily mean that we are reversing either. It's because actually right here there is a POI, so it can just react and then drop down after sweeping the liquidity, you understand? So this is why you really need to be aware of where are your actual highs and lows. And the hardest part in trading is market structure, because a lot of people are getting the market structure wrong. Okay, so yeah, this is the range right here. I already identified this 4-hour POI. We can as well see if above right here there is anything else on the 1 hour, because on the 4-hour there is nothing else. And yes, on the 1 hour we do have as well this 1 hour POI right here. So this is, nope, not internal. So this is a 1 hour POI as well that is valid. And above that, we don't have anything else. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This POI never got mitigated. As you can see, we came really close to tapping into it, but we just generated a little bit more liquidity there. So that's the only two POIs we have left for Euro USD. So if price continued to push to the upside, we can look for a sell from this point. Right now, it's kind of consolidating. So at that point, we don't really do anything yet. We're just waiting because, again, we cannot really do anything at that point. If you look for a buy, for a sell, it's just like internal ranges. And if you trade internal ranges, it's not that it's necessarily bad, but with my strategy, I want to wait for an overall range. And in this case, our overall range is here. So that's why we're going to be waiting until price comes back up and sweep this liquidity / inducement, tap into the POIs above right here, and then we're going to be entering. So yeah, that's going to be it for Euro USD, but it's exactly the same thing as we had for the previous week. So yeah, and some people ask me, okay, but why are we not looking for buys? Technically, right here, see, there was as well a 1 hour POI where price reacted really nicely and then reacts to go to the upside to look for some buys. But again, right now, what's going on according to my strategy is sells. This is just some internal ranges. Internally, I guess you could have consider this as a little pullback and then some bullish market structure. But honestly, for my strategy, I'm not looking for buys right now. And anyway, we're trading on so many other pairs that it's not necessarily a good idea to just force a trade on a pair that doesn't have any setup, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And we're gonna leave this like that, like this, and we're gonna go on another pair to see if there is anything else, because there might be something better on another pair right now. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the range. If you take as well the Fibonacci from this high to this low, you'll see that price created a pullback. You see price created a pullback above the 0.5%. It even reached the 0.70, like close to the golden zone or golden level, if you know what it is. I'm not using it, but yeah, it just created a good pullback. That's just what I want to say. So if price from this point just continue to push to the downside, I wouldn't be surprised. If this happens, we're gonna have a new break of structure into the downside, and we're gonna have a new range to look for trades. But for now, as long as we never got this break of structure to the downside again, the range is still from this high right here to this low. Okay, so let's go now and see if we had any questions. So hi guys, I really enjoyed your mentoring. Thank you very much. I really appreciate. Is your name Alex? What does KoshKah means? Okay, KoshKah is just my username. Like, it's not my real name. So yeah, so it's just a username. Okay, thanks for being live. No worries, guys. Every single Saturday we're gonna be there. So yeah. Do you use standard deviation for projection? No. I don't know what that is, so no. Are you using bookmap? Oh, thank you. Really appreciate. Thank you for someone that offered something on my head. Are you use bookmap for your strategy? I don't know what a bookmap is. Is it like a checklist or something like that? If it's a checklist, yes, I do have a checklist for the strategy. Okay, so what prop firm do I use? I use for traders. So yeah. By the way, we're on their YouTube channel right now, and we're gonna do a giveaway at the end of the day on For Traders YouTube channel as well. Okay, so let's now go on GBP USD. So GBP USD, same thing. We had the exact same POIs as on the previous week. We're as well looking for sells here. It's a bit different because in between we do have some bullish, some bullish momentum that price starting to get right here. We do start to have some bullish momentum. So this is like one of the areas where you can actually try to look for some counter trends, but yeah, it's still pretty aggressive to look for sells. But anyway, not sells, I'm sorry, looking for buys. the thing here, it's a bit complicated because we do have a really aggressive range. Like the last break of structure downside happened right here, as you can see. So the range is really, really aggressive. Since then, we do have like little pullbacks, but if you see and you measure the price action, the 0.5% of the fib just got reached right here, where we tapped into a 4-hour POI and where we got as well a trade, and that hit take profit one during the week. So yeah, that means that we still have the chance that price react right here and go for some sells, but I wouldn't be surprised if we have some bullish momentum building up. So in this case, it's like one of the situations where you can actually look for both sells and buys. Overall, it's still bearish. Like more currently, it's still bearish. Those little ranges can just be considered a liquidity sweep, okay? But if you look for some counter trend buys or like some internal buys, it would make sense, but I would personally just lower your risk. But right here, we tapped into this 4-hour POI, as you can see right here. And when we went on the 15-minute to wait for our 15-minute change of character to look for an entry, it happened. So as you can see right here, we basically broke structure to the downside / we changed character to the downside right here. So if your last break was right here with a body closure with a wick right here, and then we broke structure to the downside there. So this is our change of character on the 15-minute. That is, in my strategy, our confirmation after mitigating a higher time frame POI. And as you can see right here, we had the most extreme POI on the 15-minute and a POI that is not the most extreme one on the 5-minute right here, as you can see. So on the most extreme POI right here, you could have placed already an entry, but at the POI that is not the most extreme one, you needed to wait for an extra confirmation to refine the entry, because you want, with my strategy, your risk to ratio to be pretty high, so a minimum of 104 at take profit final. So this is why my strategy is really powerful. It's because we're looking on the higher time frame overall bias, and then we refine the entry after a higher time frame area has been mitigated. So then we have more strength into going into the lower time frame, and when we go into the lower time frame, we can actually like prove that it's gonna react from somewhere with a change of character on the 15 minutes. So it's a confirmation, and when we enter, we can just enter at the extreme POI right here, or we can as well wait for another extra confirmation on the 1 minute. So it's basically fractals, right? So it's SMC fractals. That's how I call the strategy. So we're going from the higher time frame, we wait for intermediate time frame confirmation. We're going the lower time frame. If you want to wait for not intermediate, but in this case a lower time frame confirmation, you can. So you go from the 4-hour, 15-minute, 1 minute. So yeah, right here we tapped into a POI that was not the most extreme one. So what happens next? We just needed to wait for a 1 minute break. Your 1 minute break of structure to the downside / change of character in this case happened right here. So this is the last break to the upside. So this is the low that we broke to the downside, as you can see exactly right here. And from this point, you could have identified your most extreme entry to enter again. On the 1 minute, there was a really, really extreme POI right here, as you can see, but it feels really, really smart, like not smart, small, you know, it feels really, really small. So that was the trade, but actually after that, as you can see, price pretty much left, and then we tapped into the extreme POI just right here. So wait, let me extend this. I cannot extend it. Okay, so this was the most extreme POI. So if you place your entry here, stop loss above the high, you'll see it's a crazy small, like a crazy small stop loss. So of course, it's a major pair. It's a GBP USD. So spreads are not that high, but again, it's really tied to like go in the trade with a 2-pip stop loss. You have a lot of chances to just get swept, so you don't want that. Okay, it's for people who are telling you it's realistic to enter with a really, really tight stop loss, or not trading on a real account or on a prop firm account, because when it's too tight. Like there's one thing that it's tight and there's another thing that it's too tight, you know. So below like 3 pips it's getting pretty tight as a stop loss. So yeah, you can add a little bit of more pips right here to just avoid getting swept, because again with your spreads and stuff like that, even if it's a minor pair like GBP USD or Euro USD, where the spreads are really low, like sometimes it's even raw spreads, with slippage, stuff like that, sometimes you don't want to take any chance. But as you can see right here, price tapped into the entry, that was the extreme POI. You see how perfectly it got tapped during the entry right here. There was a really push up, like a huge push up right here. If we go see the news, okay, if we go see the news, we are on Saturday, and on Friday right here, there was Friday yesterday basically. So Friday 28, we had only some Canadian news at 8:30 a.m. and after that we had nothing else. So there was no news at that area. It just was a really aggressive push up for some reason, maybe some other external news that are not on Forex Factory. But yeah, this trade, you could have kept it. There is nothing wrong going on Forex Factory to avoid taking this trade. And as you can see now, it already pushed down. Like I'm saying, your stop loss is pretty tight, so if you wanted to put it a little bit bigger, it would make sense as well. But anyway, the trade got exactly mitigated at the extreme POI really precisely. That's what I'm saying. This week, trades like that happen a lot. Like, I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with the market structure right now, but this week the market structure was perfect market structure. So basically we had the extreme POI, and look how precisely the trade got tapped in and how precisely it reacted. Like, you know, that's crazy. But yeah, this trade already hit our take profit 1, that is 103 risk reward ratio. You can hold it until the low where actually the take profit final is for a 1 to 13, but at that point that's just really being greedy. And you could have just closed it. I mean, you needed to close it before market close right here. Why? It's because with, again, slippage during Sydney session and the increase in volatility and decrease in volume just after markets open, you don't want to keep being in a trade, especially in a sell, because your spreads will go, you know, and then even if your stop loss is here, at the end of the day, that's not a big difference, you know, so you're gonna get swept. You're just gonna get out of the trade. So it's way better to don't be greedy and just close the trade right here before market close. Anyway, it's a 103, 104 risk reward ratio close to it, so you don't need more. Like, if the risk reward ratio is more than 104 with a 50% win rate strategy, your strategy is already really profitable. So you don't need more. Why are you being greedy? Stop it, okay? So yeah, that's why this trade happened right here on GBP USD. And as a trade happened before the most extreme one, the most extreme POI on the 15 minutes is, is no longer valid, because we already got our reaction and our entry right here. So yeah, guys, really sniper entry on GBP USD on Friday, basically. So yesterday, crazy entry, and it's not the only one that actually happened. You know, we had a lot of good entries this week. So again, like I said, I'm gonna do a full breakdown of all the trades that happened during this week in the Discord. So yeah, it can be a really interesting video for you guys, so don't miss out. It's free, it's on my Discord. So yeah. Okay, so anyway, we just did this breakdown on GBP USD. But what does that mean? It means that this 4-hour POI is done, but we still have some other POIs above right here, and there is nothing else. So yeah, we're just gonna be waiting for the POIs right here to be mitigated and repeat the same steps, because again, my strategy is not like other strategies when you have concepts but you mix them depending on the situation, you know, you mix them together depending on, like, I don't know, other factors. Like, for my strategy, I try to keep it as mechanical as possible. That way there's no like external factors that are actually changing my strategy every single day. Because, you know, when I personally started when I personally started trading, what thing that pissed me the most about smart money concept strategies, or everyone that was trading like strategies, I mean, everyone is trading a strategy, but more like smart money concept strategies, is that they had concepts, right? That's why people say that smart money concept is not a strategy itself. And I personally agree. Why? It's because it's called smart money concepts, right? It's not a strategy in itself. There's a lot of different strategy using smart money concepts, you know? So what pissed me the most is that a lot of people were changing the rules, and there was no like any structure. They were just using concepts, and they will like go based on feeling and combining concepts based on scenarios, and for them it made sense, but at the end of the day, for me, it didn't make any sense, because I need to have a certain structure, right? So if I don't have that certain structure in my strategy, I'm lost. Like, it doesn't like make sense. There's no logic in it, you know? So yeah, that's why in my strategy, I have a set of rules that I repeat over and over and over again. So that way I was as well able to backtest the strategy for a lot of time, for the past like 3 years, you know, even more. I backtested like 5 years of data. And the strategy works with exactly the same rules every single time. That's why it's good. And that's why I have the trust in it, and I have the proof that it's working. Because even if I have a losing streak, even some weeks, like for example the past 2 months, market has been crazy, like not good, you know, so I have the trust in my strategy that if I keep repeating the exact same thing over a long period of time, it will work. And we just have that confirmation this week, because even if in the past 2 months the strategy was pretty much like break even, the market conditions were not that great, this month, not even this month, this week alone could have covered any losses that we could have had in the past 3 months, you know? So that's why you need to actually have a strategy that you can trust, okay? Okay. Anyway, USD GPY, I'm talking a lot. USD GPY, we had as well a trade right here from this 4-hour POY. Like I told you, you see another trade that hit take profit 1 that it's now running. So take profit final would be a little bit higher. But yeah, this trade as well, we had this 4-hour POY that got created during the week. There was no inducement here, but yeah, we tapped into it, created a 15-minute break of structure to the upside / change of character, identified the most extreme POY. In this case, it was just the most extreme POY. And then bam, price tapped into the POY and reacted and hit our take profit 1, that is 103 risk reward ratio. So you see exactly the same thing. Always the same thing. So yeah, this trade is running. Except for that, I mean, right now we still have a really lower POY right here that was in the previous week like forecasts. But honestly, for USD GPY for now, that's the only thing that is going on, and we don't have anything else in between according to my strategy. Okay, do you move your stop loss at any point? Yeah, I move my stop loss to break even when my take profit 1 is hit. So for example, right here, my stop loss would be already at break even. Why? It's because my take profit 1 is at 103 risk reward ratio. So when I hit 103, I take some partials and I move my stop loss to break even to secure the profits. So even right here, you know, the trade, my stop loss should be at break even. Same thing, it's market close. So you could have as well closed it right here. It's a buy. So usually buys are not like crazy on market open, but yeah, same thing. It's better to close the trade to avoid getting swept. But yeah, usually the stop loss should be at break even. Okay. So same thing, GBP, GPY, we as well got a trade this week here. Not in the same place, but from this 1 hour POY, we had a 1 hour POY that we identified on the previous week. So this 1 hour POY was forecasted on the previous week, guys. And I remember it. Why? It's because I told you what is the high you needed to break on the previous week for this trade. Because if you go back to the previous week forecasts and breakdown, so the video recording, you'll see that you had this 1 hour POI, price tapped into this POI, and here we had a trade before the most extreme one after the change of character. So same thing, really, really nice trade according to the strategy, the same rules as I showed you on GBP USD. Except for that, now we have a new range like this. I saw if there is any POIs, but there is no POIs. So same thing, the only actual valid POIs are a little bit in the bottom, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, this trade as well happened. So you see, even in like 3 major pairs out of 4, we got a trade that hit take profit. Like only 4 pairs, you know, and just accumulating this with like 103 here and 103 here, we already at 10%. Like that's crazy, you know, that's just crazy. So yeah, that's GBP, GPY, but there is nothing else to do right here. USD CHF, same thing, we're still waiting for this high to be broken. There's nothing new right here, we're just basically waiting and nothing to do right here. So yeah, according to my strategy. USD CAD, that's interesting because we came close to break structure to the upside. You see, we were waiting for this break of structure to the upside, and we came really, really close to break it, but we didn't. And what happened is that we instead retraced back to the downside, as you can see, and we mitigated this 4-hour POI. And as you can see right here, this is actually the last break of structure to the upside that happened. So we had our range from this low to this high, and then we just identified our valid points of interest in this range. So below the 0.5% of the Fibonacci. Right here, okay, right here, we have this 4-hour POI that looks really good because it's as well connected to a little fair value gap. And on the 1 hour, we had as well this 2 candlestick POI as well connected to this little imbalance right here. So yeah, that's the 2 POIs we have. Now, we just tapped into one of those POIs. So what's gonna happen next? We're gonna go on the 15-minute, and like I said, we're gonna wait for a 15-minute change of character / break of structure to the upside. Okay, so what's gonna happen here? First of all, we need to identify the high we need to break. You see something crazy happened there. We just pushed to the downside really, really, really aggressively. So there's no even any pullback. You know, there is no pullback here that allow us to create a change of character in between. There's nothing here, right? So technically the high we need to break is there. But there's a little issue, is that if you go on the hourly, you'll see as well that this hourly high is the same one as our take profit final. And we have a rule in the strategy about when to remove the limit because we consider it gone. And the rule is when it reaches the hourly high. So if you do the links in your head, you can understand that it doesn't make sense to have a 15-minute break of structure / change of character confirmation at the same level where the trade idea gets invalidated. Right? So what does that mean? It means that we need to wait for another break to the downside so we can have a new range. In this case, if we have a break to the downside right here and price break structure, we're gonna have a new range, right? We're gonna have a new a new range basically. So that means that this will move and this will be the new high to break for our change of character, as you can see. So bam, bam, you know, that's perfect because that means that our hourly high is still here. We will be able to look for a change of character right here, enter inside the extreme POI, and then we're going to be able to target this high right here for a minimum of a 104 risk-reward ratio. So now that's just an overall approximation, but it should look something like this. So as you can see right here, this will be a nice example. Except for that, right now there's nothing we can actually do on USD CAD unless just waiting for this low being broken. What you can do if you have TradingView Premium and you don't want to miss the break to the downside is actually create an alert. Not a lot of people are talking about alerts, but they are really, really powerful on TradingView. Okay, so as you can see right here, you have a little plus button. You see right here. If you click on it, you have multiple options. One of them is add alerts, but that's not what we're gonna do. We're gonna add instead an horizontal line. And now you will tell me, why do you want to add an horizontal line? It's because when you have TradingView Premium, you have an actual tool that can create specific type of alerts with horizontal lines. So when you have your horizontal line, mine is really low opacity, but yours should be looking like this. You're gonna place it at the level you want price to break. So I want this level to be broken, okay? Because I identify my break of structures from a body closure to another body closure. So when you place the level right here, you can click on this little blue box, press on Control on your keyboard, and then it's gonna automatically magnify it to the nearest body closure or wick that you select. That way you will have a really, really precise alert, okay? Then you put it at the right spot. On top right here, you will have something like that will appear. So you can, of course, customize your alert, not alert, but your line. And right here, you have something that it says, click for add an alert. So you click on that and an alert tab will appear. Now, there's three things that we need to actually see when we're looking at alerts on TradingView. First of all, you need to look at the time frame. Right here, I'm on the 15-minute time frame, as you can see. So when I click on add alert, it will automatically create an alert on the 15-minute time frame, okay? If I go on the 1 hour and I click on add alert, it will automatically go on the 1 hour. So you see right here, there is a 1 hour where my mouse is. There is a 1 hour, you see? So make sure that when you create your alert, first of all, it's on the right time frame. So in this case, we want it to be on the 15-minute. Then you have multiple options. Here, what interests us is the trigger. The trigger right here, we want it to put on once per bar close, because that way, if the alert just gets crossed by a wick, you will not receive a notification, because you don't want to receive a notification every single time price just taps into the alert when you're looking for a break. So you know, guys, that when you're looking for a break, you need a body closure, right? You want price to close below a certain level. So what does that mean? It means that you're gonna select once per bar close. And when you select once per bar close, you click on create. Now, if price pushes down and closes below this low, you will receive a notification that you have a new range and that you will not miss the high that you need to break for your confirmation. That's it. And it's really, really powerful, because that way you're not necessarily needed to be watching the screen and looking at the screen every single time, okay? So yeah, that's pretty much it for USD CAD. Okay. So yeah, USD CAD, that's pretty much it. Now we can move on to AUD USD. So AUD USD as well, we were looking for some sales, and this as well, it's a really nice thing to talk about it, because let me explain you something. You see, we have POIs, right? We have POIs. The thing is, we're not just straight away entering in the POIs. We already know that. I already explained that, but I'm repeating it in case you guys forgot. Okay, so we have AUD USD. We have multiple POIs. We're not just entering here and placing the stop loss above the high and hoping for the best. We're not doing that. When a POI, order block, whatever, call it as you want, gets mitigated, so that means price taps into it, so bam, it got into the POI. We wait for a confirmation, okay? And the confirmation, like I was explaining, is on the 15-minute. You're waiting for a change of character. Here, no change of character. So what does that mean? The POI got destroyed and that's it. This POI is invalidated. And the other thing that you're looking to see if the POI is actually invalidated or not is to see if the price closed above the POI on the same time frame that the POI is. So as you can see right here, that's a 1 hour POI. If you're looking at it, it's here. It's the opposite color candle connected to a fair value gap. Perfect. We have our POI. That POI got created on the 1 hour. So if you go on the 1 hour, like we are right now, you can as well see that the 1 hour candle closed above the POI. You see, so the body closure closed here. The POI limit was there. It closed above, as you can see. So this means the POI got invalidated. Even if it created a 15-minute break to the downside after, we don't care anymore. The POI got invalidated. So this POI is chow buy, and we still have some other POIs left above right here for AUD USD. Same thing, looks like we have a huge range, and you're telling me, but that doesn't make sense. My range is right here. Like, why do you have this high as your range? Doesn't make sense. The thing is, again, it's because of your market structure. The last break to the upside happened there. You see, the last break of structure happened there. So what does that mean? It means that we're gonna be following the price. This is the low, right? This is the low connected to the previous high that has been broken. And we go up and we go up, 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 and we go until the high. You see, this is the high. Why? It's because right here, that's not a pullback. That's just some little retracement. That's not a pullback. So we don't have any other pullback in between of this break and this high. So this is your range. So no, your low won't move there. You know, it's not gonna move unless we have another break for it to move. You see? So as you can see, this is not the low. This is still the low of the range, right? That's not the low. That's not the low. That's not the low. Because as you can see, this low is no longer connected to the previous high that has been broken. So this is your range. And everything that is going on in this range is inside the range. So it's internal. And then the only break of structure we had to the downside was there. You see, so now the low changes, but the high stays the same. You see, the high stays the same because we did not have any other pullback afterwards either. Why? It's because it doesn't make sense. If you're looking at the chart like that, okay, you have, let's say, a break of structure to the upside. Okay, so let's imagine that you had something like that. So you had a break of structure to the upside there, right? And then you have another break of structure to the upside. Your low will be changing. It will be like that, right? So we have one break, two breaks. So this is your range. Makes sense. But if we don't have this pullback in between and price just does this, you see, the low is not here. It's still there. You see, even if you have a little pullback in between like that, that's not the low. You see, that's not the low. Why? It's because it's not the low that broke the high, as you can see. So what does that mean? This is not the low of the range right here. It's right here. So even if in between price did that, okay, the low that actually got broken is here. Not this one, not this one, this one, you see. So when you have a change of character right here, the rule says that the high stays the same, because again, that's the highest point connected to the previous low that has been broken, and we just have this new range, as you can see. So this is the so this is the new range there. You know, not this high, not this high, because in between we did not consider those breaks, as you can see. So that's why that's your range, and that's why my fib was like this, even if in between looks like we had other pullbacks. So if you remove all of this and we go back to a real chart, that's exactly the scenario that had been created here. So we do have a pullback, but it's just internal, so this is still the high of the break. It's a flip zone. Honestly, I'm not trading flip zones, and from what I understood, a flip zone, it's not necessarily that. It really depends of the range as well. But for the structure, okay, for the structure, you don't consider this as a high. Flip zone or not flip zone, that's still not the structure of the high. Okay, so that's for AUD USD. NZD USD as well, we had a 4-hour POI right here that we were looking for some sales. It was half risk because here we did have some type of beginning of reversal. Like we had a little break to the upside here, a little break to the upside here. Those POIs were kind of older because here the ranges moved lower compared to AUD USD. You see the break happened here, then we had a new range, so we had new ranges in between. Here we had a little POI and a little trade. So yeah, this trade just pushed up, as you can see. So this is no longer valid. It happened, but we still have one last POI for some sells that is half risk. However, we can look for some buys. Why we can look for some buys is because same thing, we do have some push up here, push up here. So we can look for buys, but still, I'm not a fan of buys yet because it's still really aggressive, and I wouldn't be surprised if price just wants to push up, tap into the POI like this, and then push down. But if we have the bullish momentum, we can look for some buys. The bullish momentum is kind of coming soon. I mean, it's coming now. But if you want to look for buys, we're still stuck in this big range because that's a bit too aggressive for now to be considered as pullbacks. And we do need price to come back pretty low to tap any POIs that we can look for. On the 1 hour, there is nothing. So yeah, we just need like this POI to be tapped in. It's pretty a big space. So I would maybe just wait it out to see what's gonna happen, see how this 4-hour POI on top right here reacts. And yeah, so NZD USD, let's put it to the side a little bit. I'm gonna finish Euro GBP and then I'm gonna be answering all your questions, guys, that you have. And yeah, so Euro GBP right here, what's going on? Actually, Euro GBP, what's going on right here? We do have overall really bullish momentum. Like if you just unzoom a little bit, someone asked me how to identify your overall bias, your daily bias. Okay, how I personally do it. I go on the daily from time to time to see the overall bias. How it works is that I'm identifying my daily break of structures. As you can see right here, my daily break of structures, one happened right here, one happened right here, little small one, and right here, little small one. I'm concentrating on like lower, like smaller time frame on daily, like smaller pullbacks. Technically, those pullbacks are really small. If you want to consider this as your daily range, you can. So your bias would be still bullish, but if you consider the small pullbacks right here, you can actually see that we're having a little bit of a reversal. This can just be liquidity. Like I completely understand that this right here might be just liquidity, you know? So that's why we still have a 4-hour POI for a buy. Even if we do have like a beginning of reversal where price broke structure upside right here, broke structure upside right here, and now we broke structure downside, this might be still liquidity, right? So price can do this and then push up. So that's why even if the overall time frame is like kind of reversing, we can still look for some POIs for some buy right here, half risk. It's the last one. But if you're looking for the current price action, you'll see that we started breaking structure to the upside here and here, but more recently we broke structure to the downside, right? So we can look for some sells. Unfortunately, what happens here is that there is no valid point of interest according to my strategy. Why? It's because you see there got already mitigated. We already got a reaction. So nothing to do here. We're not using a point of interest that already got mitigated. The movement from that point of interest already happened. Same thing for here. Nothing to do. There's no imbalance right here. Oh my god, I cannot do this. So there is no imbalance right here. So same thing, this point of interest is invalid. And if you go on the 1 hour, you'll see the exact same thing. This one got mitigated, this one got mitigated, This one right here is not according to my rules because there's no fair value gap connected to it or got mitigated. And here, same thing, there is nothing. So what happens is that we don't really have anything new on Euro GBP. Instead, not instead, but except this 4-hour POI right here. So yeah, that's pretty much it for major Forex pairs. Now guys, we're gonna go on indices. Okay, quickly we're gonna go on indices and gold. And some people keep asking me if I trade Bitcoin. I'm not personally trading Bitcoin, but there is some people in the community that trade crypto with that strategy, and it works pretty nicely. So if we go on the Discord, we do have, you know, some crypto markups. I'm not personally trading in crypto, it's my co-coach who is trading crypto, but yeah, we're using the exact same strategy. As you can see, 15-minute break of structure, extreme POI entry. In this case, it was a refinement, but yeah, the exact same strategy works on crypto, you know. So if you want to try trading this strategy from crypto, we can, I mean, you can. I'm personally focusing on Forex and indices, but if you want to trade crypto, you can, because the strategy works really well with that too. So yeah, let's go on US30. So US30 right here, we basically broke structure downside, but it was only one break, so it's too early to look for sells. We already as well got a nice little buy trade like 2 weeks ago from this POI right here, as you can see, that reacted perfectly. That was really as well forecasted for weeks in the weekly outlooks. So yeah, we had this basically POI, we had a trade, now it's just reacting from it, and except for that, there is nothing much else on US30. We've just been waiting. On NAS, we did have a little trade right here from a sell that we caught that hit our 1-to-4 risk-reward ratio. So on NAS right here, same thing, we tapped into a POI, we got a 15-minute change of character, and we had an entry right here for 104. It will be as well forecasted, not forecasted, but broke down in the breakdown this week, so don't hesitate to watch it. But yeah, crazy trade right here that again we caught in the community. So yeah, but except for that, on NAS, we still have like one last sell, but to be honest, we like broke structure here, we broke structure here. So we do have again a bullish momentum that is starting to build up. Why this POI is still valid is because there was a lot of liquidity there. So if price sweep this liquidity and then tap into this POI, it can be nice to look for a last sell. But yeah, that's really the last sell possible, and that's why we have as well a buy counter trend right here. It's starting to build up. S&P, there is nothing. The reason why there is nothing on S&P but there's something on NAS, it's because the ranges are not the same. Here we broke structure to the upside exactly right here, as you can see. So this is a break of structure to the upside, creating this low of the range. Again, don't make the mistake of considering this one or this one. This is the low that broke the previous high. You see lowest point connected to the high. So this is the low, this is the high, and then since then we've been just stuck in this range. So if I take my lines, this is the range. As you can see, we've been just stuck inside of it. Nothing got broken in between. So yeah, we just basically wait. And on gold, same thing. Gold, guys, according to my strategy right now, we have a pretty nice bullish momentum on gold. I mean, it's been always pretty bullish on gold, but according to my strategy, same thing, as I don't have a range, my range is there, you know, my range is bearish. It doesn't make any sense for me to look for sells, you know, doesn't make sense, because again, overall we're bullish, right? So right here I have a point of interest that price came close to it, but it's really old. Like this point of interest is already like 2 months old. At that point I even considered just removing it because it's been really old. But yeah, we have a bearish range. I'm not looking for sells because it doesn't make sense in my opinion. We're still bullish. So gold right now, according to my strategy, is pretty boring. Overall, we do have a bullish momentum inside right here. It's starting to build up again. But according to my strategy right now on gold, it's pretty boring. So I'm not having anything to do right here. Okay, guys. So Now it's time for questions. So yeah, I did all the breakdowns of all the pairs for everyone who hasn't been there since the beginning. That's everything we broke down. So Euro USD, GBP USD, blah 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 blah, and we went down to gold. The rediffusion / the recording will be on the Discord. So if you missed, why I opened Steam? Oh no, okay. If you missed anything, okay, if you missed, it's gonna be in the free Discord. So basically right here you have a lot of free resources and the free weekly outlooks are there. Okay, so if you missed the weekly outlook, you want to rewatch the free weekly outlook, etc., all the recordings are there. You can as well prove that I forecasted indeed the trades on the previous week that I've been talking about today. So yeah, all the weekly outlooks are here. If you have any questions, there's breakdowns and even more resources. But yeah, that's everything we broke down today. Now it's time for the questions. Okay, so yeah, by the way guys, if you have any questions, you can ask them now, or you can as well DM me on Instagram. I reply to everyone. Okay, I know in this industry people are saying they're replying, but they never replied. They left you on read and, you know, you're left alone. But that's not what I'm trying to do. So if you have any question, really don't hesitate to just send me a message on Instagram or just write it down there, okay? And I'm gonna reply, okay? So now it's time for the questions. After the question, we're gonna be doing a giveaway like every single week. Don't be afraid, it's not a scam. We're doing a giveaway every single week on For Traders. Basically, this live stream is like a collab with For Traders, the prop firm ranked number 3 on Prop Firm Match. So yeah, they're giving away a free 6K funded account at every single end of the live stream. So yeah, if you stay after the questions, you have the chance to win a free 6K funded account. I'm just saying it like that. But yeah, so let's answer some questions right now. So let's start with YouTube, because like I'm saying, the live stream is on YouTube at the same time on For Traders YouTube channel. As you can see, I'm streaming on For Traders YouTube channel. So let's answer questions. I answered all of that. Okay, I made some money on your USD CAD setup last week. That's good, congratulations. I'm happy for you. Please, my question is, where does session matter for break of structure, or it's only in lower time frame? The session doesn't matter for our strategy as long as you don't trade Sydney, because Sydney have really bad spreads. But except for that, the session doesn't matter. Okay, so you can trade whatever session you want, just be careful with Sydney because the spreads are really bad. Best week since a while. Yeah, this week was crazy week. I'm really happy for the results we had this week. So after the mitigation, yeah, so the session doesn't matter. How do one identify the 1 hour high for final take profit? You look at the structure. You usually just look at the structure. You're looking at the closest high after the break of structure, and that would be your take profit. So basically, if I go identify, for example, the break of structure and the take profit on USD GPY, let's say, the closest hourly high for this case would be like right here. That's the closest hourly high. So the take profit final would be there, okay, because that's the last break of structure downside. It's pretty far away. I mean, it's a 105 risk to ratio. It's not bad, but if you want to be less greedy, you can target here for 104, but technically the take profit final would be there at the hourly high. So yeah, let's now answer more questions. By the way, guys, I didn't talk about the news for next week, so let's do it now really quickly as well. So what's going... Hey, calm down. Okay. So what's going on for the news? So next week, Sunday, there is some GPY news. PMI on Monday, okay. It's not like a huge high impact news, but be careful. However, we're gonna be having some CPI for the CHF on Wednesday, so don't be in CHF trades during CPI. You're gonna get destroyed. Then we have some non-farm and employment change on Wednesday, so it's not as like volatile as real NFP, but still be careful here. honestly, those news events are volatile, but can depend of if you're in a trade or not. Unemployment claims, you close your trades, you don't want to be caught in that. CAD news, just be careful on Canadian pairs. And here you do have some price index, consumer sentiment, but same thing, it's not as volatile, so should be fine. However, the next week, we don't have NFP. That's really weird that we don't have NFP. Usually we have NFP every single first Friday of the month. This Friday there is no NFP. I'm not aware why. But yeah, news events are not that crazy for next week. Just be careful for the red folders. Like for example here, CHF, SCPI. That's not that bad. It's fine. Unemployment claims, be careful. And here, not that bad. So not that bad, honestly, for the news. Okay. Let's go back to the questions. Assuming 4-hour POI is not available, but we have a 1-hour POI, can we use that, or we just should disregard the 1-hour POI? Yeah, if you have only a 4-hour POI, if you only have a 1-hour POI, you can just use the 1-hour POI. For me, a higher time frame POI is 4-hour or 1 hour. So if you have a 4-hour, 1 hour, doesn't matter, it's fine. If a POI reacted off and hit 103 risk-reward ratio, but no entry was given, can you take another trade on that same POI if another entry is given later on? So yes, if the trade hit 103 risk-reward ratio, it's not meaning that the trade is gone. The trade is gone only when your take profit final got reached. So that means the hourly high got reached, okay? If it only hits 103, but you're still not in the trade, you can actually still try to catch the same position at the same level, because if it comes back, that's fine, you know, because we're still not in the trade, the partials are not taken yet, and the stop loss is not at break even yet, so we still can take the trade. There's no issues with that. So yeah, you can still go back in the trade. Really informative stream as always. Thank you, really appreciate it. By the way, guys, every single time like someone say like informative stream or whatever, I'm always reading the comments. So really I'm really happy basically to read those comments. It really makes me super happy. Okay, so last question on YouTube, then I'm gonna go on TikTok. So please, after got the POI that's not the most extreme and wait for a 1 minute break of structure, then the price takes a little hit long, like 1 day, and it did not come back to POI. Can we still consider the POI as valid? So yes, that was a example that happened on GBP USD. So on GBP USD, something similar happened. Basically, we got a POI, the most extreme one, somewhere around in this area. Remember at the beginning, I was explaining it. This got created on Tuesday at like 11:45, but it actually got tapped in 1 day later. So it's still fine. There's no issues with that. The only issue would be if price reached the final take profit without you. So for example, if price hit the final take profit without tapping you in, then the entry would be no longer valid, but as long as it's still inside the range, it's fine. So yes. Okay. So now we did the questions on YouTube. I'm just gonna do quickly some questions on TikTok too. So this is let's do some questions on TikTok too. So let me just scroll a little bit up, and okay, can you show a sample of inducement? So yeah, inducement is quite simple, guys. It's just situated at every single high and low where there is a POI close to it. So for example, okay, it's just basically rest in liquidity. If you know what rest in liquidity is, inducement is a synonym, okay? So as you can see right here, we have little pullbacks like here. That can still considered be a small inducement, Okay, but really strong inducement is where, for example, there is a consolidation, there is a lot of equal highs, equal lows, there's like double top, you know, something like that. There is a lot of orders here, that's inducement, basically, as well resting liquidity. Or when there is a break of structure, like for example here, this high created a little range. So as overall we're bearish, the highs are supposed to be stronger, so the liquidity that is situated here is stronger, you know. So that's why as well we can see that when price first reached that level, we had a really strong reaction after sweeping the level. You see, we had a wick and we straight away pushed down because we just swept the level and then we reacted. That's a sign that there was liquidity there, there was pending orders there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Certified yapper, thank you, really appreciate the kind comment. Okay, so let's move on. So USD CAD, I reacted. How many confluences do I follow? And honestly, not that much. Like for example, on my strategy, I have one that is the POIs, how to identify valid POIs. So basically, my POIs can be one confluence of like the whole POI identifying thing. Then a 15-minute change of character, that's 2. After that, you have the extreme POI entry, and that's it. Honestly, that's pretty much it. If you count every single concept individually, it can be more, but when you put everything together, it's just higher time frame POI mitigation, change of character on the 15 minutes, and when there is an earlier entry, a 1 minute as well change of character, and that's it. But as confluences, it's like 3 to 5 in the overall aspect of things. Everything but trading. If you just missed, I'm sorry guys, I'm just having fun identifying and like talking to haters, because you just basically missed the whole stream. I've been streaming for the past hour and I've been explaining so many things, and you just came now and I'm answering questions, and I do everything except trading. So welcome at the end of the live stream. Anyway, you can move on if you want, or you can go watch the breakdown or the recording. Allez up, ciao, bye. So how do you get my intraday bias for the week? I'm actually just focusing on the 4-hour structure. So my intraday bias is in with my ranges. So for example, right here, there is a break of structure. I mean, GPUSD might not be the greatest example, but why am I on replay? So for example, right here we had a trade right on GBP GPY. My bias will just be with my ranges. Okay, so I have a break of structure to the upside, break of structure to the upside, so I keep following my ranges, and that's it, you know. So for example, that's how I identify my bias. So yeah, right here, for example, there was a trade, stuff like that. So I'm not identifying my bias every single day, I just follow the ranges that I had. Okay, yeah, so yeah guys, I think that's gonna be pretty much it. Just to not put the live stream too long, it's been already 1 hour since we've been streaming, like I said. So the recording will be on the Discord. So every single live stream recording with the analysis and everything will be on Discord. Now, if you have more questions, really don't hesitate to just DM me. I'm answering all questions, really, no matter who you are, I don't care. Just I'm answering all the questions. And yeah, so now it's time for the giveaway. So we're gonna move on to YouTube. If you want to participate in the giveaway, people who are on YouTube, we can already stay there. So yeah, we're gonna be giving away a free challenge on YouTube. So as you can see, like I said, we're streaming on YouTube at the exact same time on For Traders YouTube channel. So yeah, we're gonna be giving a giveaway. Someone said, what's the Discord? If you go on my social media, you'll see that there is a link in the bio and the Discord is there. So that's basically the Discord right here. Okay. So yeah, if you want to participate in the giveaway, you need to search for the live on For Traders. So you just write For Traders on YouTube search, and you're gonna find the live. It's running now, right now, at the same time. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna end the live stream on TikTok. So if you have any questions, any additional questions, don't hesitate to DM me. If you want to participate in the giveaway for a free 6K challenge, go on YouTube, and we're gonna be giving away that challenge right here. So yeah, thank you for joining, guys, everyone that is on TikTok, and see you next week. So next week, same time, 1 hour later next week, we're gonna be doing as well the basically the weekly outlook. So yeah, guys, ciao, and transfer on YouTube if you want to have the chance to win the 6K YouTube. So YouTube channel For Traders right here. You see it says For Traders, For Traders. You just write For Traders. You're gonna find it. Okay. Ciao. So this is bye. Okay, now guys, I'm gonna be repeating the rules. Okay, I'm gonna be repeating the rules of the giveaways. So same thing, there is another rule that has been added by For Traders. So everyone who already participated once in the giveaway and won something. So if you already won something, I already sent you a code, okay? You cannot participate anymore. So it's only one try per, one win per person. That way everyone else can have the chance to win, okay? Because that way it's more fair, and that way if you already won once, you need to leave the chance to other people to win as well, because again, it's just more fair, and that way more people can experience the free challenge and more people, can be blessed. So yeah, just telling you like that. If you already won something, not if you participated, but if you already won something, you cannot participate again, okay? Because it's not fair for other people, okay? So yeah, just telling you like this. Hope everyone understands. It's not against you. It's not because we don't want to give you another another account. It's just really to be fair for everyone else, okay? So okay, the rules really simple. I'm gonna have a question, so I'm gonna be asking a question and you will need to answer the question, okay? That's it. The replies will be A, B, C, D, or other letters. Today I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna give the opportunity, I'm gonna place other letters than A, B, C, D. Like that, no one can actually pre-shot the answer. No one. So it can be any letters from the alphabet. That way no one can cheat and just say a letter randomly and hope they got it right. Okay, so it can be L, B, I, whatever, okay? So that way, no one will cheat. And that way, it will be fair for everyone, okay? So it's gonna be a letter. So just reply the letter corresponding to the right answer, okay? Okay. And other rule is that we're gonna put your name in the wheel of names. Like I said, we're 40, so we're gonna select 7 people. 7 people will be placed in the wheel of names. The first 7 that has the right answer, okay? And based on how I see it, okay? So wheel of names right here, those ones from the previous time. Let me just now write the question down, so then I'm gonna show it to you. So, okay. Okay. I'm writing the question, guys, by the way. Okay, so I have my question, guys. So good luck to everyone. Again, you answer the letter corresponding to the right answer. That way, no one can cheat. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, go. So how to identify a valid low for your range? Is it H? It's the closest low to the new high. O, it's the low that is closer to the 50% of the fib. P, it's the most far away low even before the break of structure of the range. Or Q, it's the low connected to the high that has been broken. Okay, so what is the valid low for your range? Of course, in a bullish market structure. So is it the closest low? So H, O, P, Q. So what is your answer, guys? What is your answer? What is your answer? Okay. We have a lot of different answers. Oy, that's good. So closed. Why is it closed? The closed low, no, whatever. Okay, so the right answer, guys, was Q. So it's the low connected to the high that has been broken. So basically, like I've been explaining a lot of times tonight, so basically, if we have something like that, it's the low right here connected to the high that has been broken. So you see they're connected. That's it. That's the low connected to the high that has been broken. It's not the most far away low even before the break of structure. Before the break of structure would be here. That's the break of structure. That's the low before the break of structure. That's not the low right here. That's exactly what I've been saying every single time. So if you've been there for the live stream, I repeated this exact sentence like 10 times. So that way as well, it was to test who was actually listening to the live stream. So that's the previous low, even before the break of structure. That's wrong. Low close to the 50% fib, it's not related to the range. And it's the closest low, it's the close low to the new high. So it's like, for example, this one. It's not this one either, it's this one. So yeah, the right answer is Q. So let's see who actually wrote Q. This person removed this message. That's really suspicious. It looks like you pre-shared the answer, so that's not gonna count. So this one got it right. Q, P, 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 nope. Okay. This one pre-shotted the answer as well. So like I was explaining, we don't pre-shot here. That's why you needed to actually see the right answer. This one as well. By the way, guys, if you already participated in the giveaway, you cannot participate longer. Like that's not in the sense of if you won in the giveaway, you cannot win again. You know, that's just what I wanted to say. I don't recognize any username, so I think for people who are here, no one still won. But yeah, I talked about it. LQ? What LQ? Why liquidity? Why liquidity? L and Q is so far away in the keyboard. What happened? Why you wrote LQ? I'm so confused. There was not even L in the thing. Really confused. Why there's a L in your answer? Like Q is there, L is there, LQ is liquidity. I'm so confused. You have the right answer, but I mean that's not even the answer. Can you understand? I mistype LQ. Please don't disqualify me. I mean, honestly, there's the Q there. I think the L just got inside. Doesn't really make any sense. Why there's gonna be a L? I don't know. But yeah, if you mistype, it's fine. Don't worry, you got the right answer. I'm gonna give it to you. Okay, so yeah, I think the L I think the L just got here as well. With the autocorrector, sometimes you write something, you write something and it's just correcting for the like the thing that you're using a lot, so maybe that's why it happened. Okay, so yeah, that's our 7 people. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So let's spin and let's see who will win the account this time. So Nice. So we have BX1001, who is the winner this time for the account. So let's see the YouTube channel. Again, guys, it's all random. There's nothing. So this is the person who won the account. So just DM me on Instagram to claim your prize, and if I don't reply on Instagram, please DM me on Discord, because sometimes I have a lot of messages, but I'm replying to everyone just in case something happens. So yeah, you can claim your prize by just showing me that this is your YouTube channel. And yeah, congratulations to everyone who participated, and we're gonna see each other next time for another live stream on the next Saturday.